Hello, what's up, dear YouTube viewers? I wasn't originally planning to make a video today, but today something happened. Or yesterday something happened, and in my opinion it was one of the most disgraceful things in history of soccer. So I just had to make a video about it and express my opinion. So what happened is that in the match between the United States and Bosnia, Folarin Balogun got a red card for a foul that he made on Bosnian defender Tarik Muharemovic and was supposed to miss USA's game today against Belgium. But President Trump has called FIFA President Gianni Infantino and got FIFA to postpone this decision. So today I'm gonna say my opinion on this decision. I knew I couldn't keep it to myself and that when something injustice is going on, I have to call it out. Okay guys, so for one, let's start. This has almost never before happened. The only time was when Garrincha got his red card cancelled for Brazil, which was like more than 60 years ago. In modern times, it has almost never happened. The rules have been pretty consistent. If you get a red card, you miss the next game. Nowhere does it say that you miss the game after the World Cup. Nowhere does it say that you miss the next game only if the game is unimportant to your team. No. It clearly says if you receive a red card, you miss the next game. And now this rule has been violated. And I think it's not fair that many players before have missed a game and now Folarin Balogun has received an exception. Like, what makes him so exceptional? Why do some players don't have to hold on to the same rules that everyone else has to? Isn't soccer supposed to be equal for everyone? And I just think that what happened is really disgraceful. Now, people could say that the red card was unfair. And sure, I would honestly agree with them, because how Balogun played against Muharemovic was really mean, but at the same time I could see that he actually didn't mean it, and didn't see that Muharemovic was coming. Honestly, if I was the referee in this match, I would probably have given a yellow card. But referees are referees. They know something that we as ordinary soccer fans don't know. And the decision has been made. This is exactly why we say final decision, because final decision is final. Sure, we could do something after the fact, like we could ask to do something against the referee, to decide if the decision was fair, to maybe suspend them. That's what I mean, of course. I'm not saying to do something physical against the referee. I'm saying like to do something disciplinary actions and to ask FIFA to suspend the referee. We could file an appeal afterwards, but once the decision has been made, it has been made. And never before in history has it been overturned, like I said before, except for that one instance against Garrincha. Now, okay, according to FIFA, they said they have acted under their disciplinary rules. But the question is, why do they act under disciplinary rules in one instance and not in other instances? For example, Belgium themselves were in the same situation. When Nguyen received a red card in a game against Iran and was suspended for the next one against New Zealand. So why didn't FIFA act under their rules this time? Now, it would be one thing if Trump actually filed a formal appeal with FIFA and FIFA declared it wrong on appeal. Okay, I would get it. But he didn't even do that. He just called Infantino and asked him on a phone call. Like, what the heck is that? Never before has it happened in history that a leader of a country has called the president of FIFA and asked to appeal a decision. In fact, there is even a rule in FIFA itself that states that if a political figure of a country attempts to interfere in the course of the match, that country should immediately be disqualified. Of course, I don't want the USA to be disqualified, and I get it that it's not the players' fault for what happened, but I think what Trump did was unprecedented. And Infantino deciding to do what he wants, I think, was very wrong. What will be the point of red card if everyone starts doing it? Because red cards, that's what they are originally made for. Is that if a player commits a serious foul, he goes away. So that's what's supposed to deter players. They know that if they receive a red card, they will never play. But what will be deterring players to play rudely now? That they know that if they play rudely, they could still not get suspended if the president of their country calls the FIFA president and reverses that suspension. Where is that gonna go next? That's what I'm asking. What will be the points of red cards after that? Here is another problem I see with that, is that what will happen next? If Trump managed to overturn one FIFA decision, where is the guarantee that he will not do the same with another FIFA decision? Imagine if tomorrow USA loses to Belgium, or if let's say they beat Belgium, which I think is realistically possible, given that Belgium has not had the best record himself, but they lose to Spain or Portugal in the next match. What's gonna happen next? Is Trump gonna call FIFA president and ask to overturn the result of that match? Yes, I know, now we think that it will not happen, because it's clearly strange, but we really don't know where is the line gonna be. If they manage to do it once and they haven't received any sanctions in return, where is the guarantee that they're not gonna try to do it again with something else? Yeah, guys, I have never been so disgraced about a footballing decision. I think FIFA has truly discredited itself. And discredited the world of football. Because before, football was supposed to be fair. And they understood that if you don't play fairly, you will get consequences. Now it's no longer about if you play fairly, it's about if you have personal connections to some figures in FIFA. And I'm honestly really dissatisfied with FIFA. I have been dissatisfied with FIFA even before this decision, with how they suspended Russia when failing to take similar actions against other countries who invade countries. But now I'm even more dissatisfied. I think that FIFA should do something about it. Next year, I think there will be presidential elections, and I'm really hopeful that Infantino will lose that election and that a new president will come to power in FIFA and do something about this decision. And that the new president will be more objective than Infantino. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I want the USA to win the World Cup someday? Of course. I think the USA has a really good team of players, and soccer is getting more and more popular, and I absolutely do want a new champion to be in the World Cup after domination of teams like Brazil or Germany or Italy, although now Italy hasn't qualified. But I also value justice and fairness more than the victory itself. I think it's better to lose, but lose with fairness, than win, but win through controversial decision. Because a lose, even a fair one, will be remembered as a fair loss with a good result. A win that has been cheated will always be disputed. Of course, I want the USA to win the World Cup, but I want them to win fairly, so that no one dares to dispute and say that the USA should not have won the World Cup. If the USA wins, but it will be unfair, no other country will recognize the USA as champion, or other countries who try to do a similar thing. So I'm really hopeful that the USA wins the World Cup in the future, but right now it makes me really not want to support the USA national football team in a game against Belgium. I supported them in games against Australia, Paraguay, Turkey, and Bosnia, but with what happened now, I really don't want to support them, at least in this game. In the next World Cup, when everything will be more fair, I will definitely support them again, but right now, I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to support Belgium because I have no connections to Belgium and not really much in common with them, but I also don't know if I want to support the USA after what happened. So, like I said before, I'm not upset at Folarin Balogun himself, nor at the USA football player, but I'm definitely upset with FIFA. Maybe someday I will post a separate video where I explain all my grievances against FIFA, but this has definitely been one of the most controversial decisions in FIFA history. So yeah, I truly think that FIFA has made people not want to watch soccer anymore, because now people see that it's not about if you play fair, it's about if you have the right connections. So like I said before, I'm really hopeful that this situation will be resolved, that in the future the USA wins the World Cup fairly, and I'm not saying anything bad about the football teams themselves, but what Trump did was unprecedented, and I think this could really backfire. For example, imagine what will happen tomorrow tomorrow a player who was supposed to not play against the USA for a red card will play against the USA because the president of that country calls FIFA member. Like I truly don't know what to say about it. Like, where is it gonna go next? Okay, imagine if President Recep Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey tries to call FIFA to bring back Turkey after they being suspended, or sorry, not suspended, after they lost two of their games. Imagine if Mexico's President Sheinbaum calls FIFA to ask them to rewatch the game against England. I think when politicians interfere into soccer, it doesn't lead to much good. Okay, guys, this was one of the most emotional videos I ever had on my channel. I really didn't want to offend anyone, so if this was offensive to you personally, I'm sorry about that. I really didn't want to try to offend anyone. Like I said, I don't hold grudges against the US team or their players. I truly want the USA to win the World Cup someday. But once again, like I said, what happened now is truly unprecedented. That I don't think this should ever be allowed to happen again. I truly think that this was unfair and unjust. And once again, I hope that the USA will win the World Cup someday, but I don't want it to be this time, because I think it's better to lose than to win with this in this questionable way. Okay, bye guys. If you like this video, give it a thumb up. If you dislike it, give a thumb down. subscribe to my channel. Oh, bye guys. Hope you have a good day.